Welcome back, guys. So in the previous video we used the iPhone app to submit a survey, but we had to log in to our organization account and download the survey in order to submit the survey. So coming back here for the designer, and only the owner can do that, or the people who give them access to be able to design and change the settings for this survey. We were working on the design tab to create our survey. Here we have the collaboration, which will allow us to change the sharing for this survey. So you can share this survey as a URL link, and this link will open the survey in a browser directly. So you can take this URL, and because we published this one, we can actually submit another survey from here, but it will ask you to log in first. So because I'm already logged in, it will show that. If I open the same URL in another tab that doesn't that I'm not logged in to ArcGIS Online, it will ask me for my username and password because this is a protected survey. It's not public yet. If it's public, you don't need to log in. You will be able to see it, and you can give this URL to anyone, so they can just use this URL to open it in the browser. You can also create another URL here by tapping here, and this URL will ask you, if you open it on the phone, do you want to open it in the browser or you want to open it on the phone app? And this is the best URL to use because you can send this to anyone by email, and then when they open this email, they will tap on this URL and it will ask them, do you want to open it in the app or you want to open it in the browser? So it will give them the option. But you can limit it, or you can limit this URL to only open in the browser. It's not going to ask the user to open in the app, or you want to open it in the phone app only. So you have these three options: either the browser and the app, or the app by itself. And for every single option, as you see here, you have the option to copy the URL, and you have the option to create the QR code. So as I told you, one of the things that you can do is to change the sharing to public, and then you can say open the survey, or ask the user to open the survey in the browser or on the phone app, and then make sure to save that, because what we are going to do right now is I'm gonna scan this QR code using my phone, so I can show you that without signing in I can open this exact survey on my phone. I can download it also. So let me connect my phone here. Okay, so now I have my phone same as we left it in the previous video. We have the survey, but remember that I had to log in order to see the survey. What I'm gonna do different now is I'm gonna sign out. So I'm gonna open the settings here. I'm gonna say sign out. And once I sign out, I'm not gonna be able to see to submit this survey because I need to log in. So what I'm going to do right now is to delete the survey. So I'm gonna tap on this options on the top right here. This is how you can delete any downloaded survey. I'm gonna delete this one, and now I am not logged in. I have no other like surveys downloaded, but here's what I can do. I can open this QR code, and on my phone I can tap on this QR code so I can scan it. So let me bring this window here, and now I can scan this QR code by tapping here. And right away, so it scanned it and opened it, and here you go. It asked me, do you want to open it in the browser or you want to open it in the Survey123 field app? So I'm gonna tap on open in the field app, and it's gonna open Survey123 for me. I'll say open. It's gonna download the survey automatically, and remember that I didn't log in. I did not log in, and the reason I was able to do that because we set the sharing to public. If I'm not sharing this as public, I had to log in, and it will ask me, you need to log in using your username and password in order to submit the survey. But this is here the options to take this URL. You can send this URL by itself, or you can send it as a QR code and allow the users to just scan it with the camera as I showed you right now, and everything will work perfectly fine. And here also you can open the survey in a new tab by just open this URL in a new tab. And here the last option we have is embed in a website. So when you click on this one, it will give you HTML code that you can copy this script and copy this code and actually add it as HTML tags into any website you have. And we're going to show you how to do this when we work on ArcGIS Hub, because when we work on ArcGIS Hub, it's like working on a separate website that we create a website. So we can actually add HTML tags and CSS, and we can add any controls we need. And this is one of the things that we can add to our ArcGIS Hub or any website. You can add this entire survey to any website, and it will be used as you see it on the browser right here. So if you add the control or the survey to any website, it will show up like how it is, looks like here, but you can add it in like a smaller window. You don't have to add it on a full window like this. You can add it in a smaller window or a smaller container, and you can add it using this script right here. And here we have the option for sharing. So the sharing here, you can share it with everyone public as I showed you, or you can make it private, only you, or you can make it for the members of the organization, or you can share it with a specific group. So if you wanted to limit the usage of this survey, you can create a group, as I showed you before on ArcGIS Online Organization Account section, how to create groups and how to add members to your groups. Now you will see the groups you have here, and you can select which group you want them to have access to your Survey123. But for now, I'm gonna make it public. This way I can access it with signing in, and I can also access it without signing in. That's my only choice, just to show you. But usually if I'm doing this for a client, I need to make sure if they are gonna use this survey public, or they are gonna use this survey for specific groups, or they just need to use this survey with the members of their organization. So this is options we have here for the sharing. What can submitters do with the survey? Here you have the option they can only add new records, they can add and update records, they can add, update and delete records. What that means is if they submitted an existing survey, they can edit it or they can delete it after they submitted it. Or if they only add, if you chose only add new records, that means once the user or the field user click send now, and it's been sent and it went to his sent box and on his phone app, that's it, it's done. He cannot change it. If I chose this one, now they can add a new survey or send a new survey, and they can update it if you want. If I choose this one, they can delete it. And deleting it is not gonna just delete it from the phone, it's actually gonna delete it from the data been collected. So here I can limit the users what they can do. So usually I like to keep it add and update, because I don't want to give the user the ability to delete, because I don't want them to delete my data. Here at draft mode, you can enable draft mode for this survey, which means that you can work on this survey, and let's say for example if you close the app, if you run out of battery, if anything happened by mistake, you will find this survey in a draft mode, which means when you are working on any survey, it's automatically saved in the draft mode till you actually send it or save it to your outbox. Otherwise it will be in the draft mode, and it's a good option to have, so I always enable draft mode. Multiple submissions, you want to allow the users to submit only one survey or multiple surveys. Usually it's multiple surveys, so I'm gonna keep it the same, but here you have the option to do that. Survey status, you can limit the time for the survey. So for example, if you're creating a survey and you want to open the time to submit the survey in a certain month or a certain week, you can set that from here, when it's going to start and when it's going to end. Or here you can make it closed, don't allow this survey to be collected right now, we are not opening it, or keep it open so anyone can download it and submit surveys. So you can control that from here. Make sure to click save after every changes you made. So here we have this public, we have the user to ask here with the app or the browser, we have everything as we wanted. Here we have the share results, and that's different from sharing the survey. So here we have the share for the survey, so the users can download it on their phone app or open it in the browser like this and submit a survey. It's like printing a form paper and give the paper to your users to take it to the field and like take the surveys. But here share results is different. Now the people in the field, after they collected the surveys, they submit it, and now you have it in the database, you have it in the analyze and the data tab. You need to select who will be able to share or see these results. Usually you limit the people who have access to the results based and depends on your business needs. So for now, I'm not gonna make it public or set it up for a group, because I'm the only one in this organization right now. So I'm the owner, so I will be able to see the results, but you can share your results with anyone. And also here's a URL, same thing. We had a URL to share the survey. We had a URL to share the results, but the survey results only show up on the browser. So you cannot view the results on the app. You can only see it on the browser. So you can copy this one, and let's say I'm gonna open it here. And now I will be able to see the survey results, the collection that the users been collected and submitted. So here we have one survey been collected, showed me like how many been collected. We have only one. So this is the results for the survey. Here you have the controls you created for your survey, and every single control have its own entry. So for example, the name single line text control, the first control, we added my name, which is Asser Suelem. So here is the results for it. Asser is a word, and this is a second word goes into this control, right? And here we have the multi-text control, and here is the values for the text. Every single word is going into one line. And here the options for which day, what is today, and it shows you that there's only one choice for Friday. If we have multiple users submitting multiple surveys, and they also, like, let's say out of 10, 5 submitted Friday, you'll see 5 here. If 3 submitted Monday, you'll see 3 here. So you will see the results for all the users and all the surveys been collected. And you can filter it by time. You can filter it here, depends on what control you want to focus on. So you can focus on specific things. Because what happened that you might have a lot of users submitting surveys. You might have like thousands of users. You might have like hundreds of users submitting surveys within a certain time. And here you have the option to filter your results based on a specific control and a specific value. So out of all these values, maybe this is not what I care about. I care about specific value, which is how many people choose Friday. So here I can say I want to see the data for this specific question or this specific control, and I want to see the values that when the value is Friday. And then when I add this expression and click apply, I should see only Friday values. I should not be able to see anything else, and that will allow me and help me to filter and narrow down my results that I want to see and focus on. You can focus on the time on the results by date, or you can focus on the results by date, right? So this is the two options you have. You can filter it by date, or you can filter it by which control you want to see. If we go back to navigation again, here I can go and jump to any question to see how the users reacted to this, and you can see all the results for all the surveys that have been submitted. And here is the images that I submitted for this survey, and it shows you the location and which phone been used, what is the type, and so many information that you can use to help you doing your analysis and analyze your data. Because as you see here, this is the Analyze tab, and this is also the URL that we opened to share the results. Again, this is the URL that you can share to share the results, and this is how the results look like. There's so many ways that you can analyze this data, but if you go back here to the owner window, and here's you have all the controls, you have the analyze, which is gonna it will show you exactly how it looks in the URL we opened. Here you have only the ability to analyze and see the data, but you cannot design it. But here you can design and change the sharing and the collaboration for this survey. Then the next tab here is data, and data will show you where is the locations that this survey has been collected. So here's the survey that I collected right now. If we have multiple surveys in different places, it will show you. So this data window right here is very similar to how you view a feature layer on a web map. So if you have a feature layer on ArcGIS Online and you add it to a map, this is how it's going to look like. It will show you the points or the lines on the map, and it will show you each record, like, and the column name and the record. So here it shows you the records, and it also can show you the attachment as well. So here you have all the data that you collected, and this is an easy view for the results per survey. So here in the data you can see a specific survey, but in the analyze you have a collection of all the surveys, so you can analyze this data. So there's two ways to look at it. You can look at the data as you're looking at any other data table or feature service, or you can analyze the data that's been collected. And that's the two difference between the analyze and the data right here. As I told you, when we create a survey, there's a feature service been created and fields been created for this feature service. To confirm that to you, if you go back to ArcGIS Online and you go to your content, you will see that there is a new folder been created automatically for you for this survey that you created. So for every survey we create, there is a new folder will be created without you changing anything. This is automatically generated survey folder that created on your content, and when you open it, you will see that you have a form, survey form, and this is the form that we created, and you have a feature layer, multiple feature layer. All of these layers been created automatically by ArcGIS Online. We didn't create this feature layers and we didn't publish it. But as I showed you in the previous tab, if I open this one, it will be treated like any other feature layer, and I can open it in a map viewer. I can view the data, I can view the columns, I can view it as a view any other feature layer. It's the same view as here, but here you focus on it as a feature layer, and here you focus on it as a feature layer created for this specific survey. So you need to differentiate between these two things. Analyze and data is only for the people who will analyze and review this data. Nobody should be allowed to have access to this URL from here or open this one unless you know who you are sharing this URL with, because this is the analyze and the results for all the data that's been collected. If you want users to collect surveys, you go to collaboration and you share with them the URL for share survey. If you want to share the results, you take this URL and send it to the people you want them to see the results, as you see it right here. Now here we have also, if you want to share the results with the public, so you can share the results with the public if you want, but they still need to have this URL so they can see it. Or you can share the results with the specific groups, and the same options applies for the sharing right here. And here it asks you what data can viewers see. You can set that up. What can viewers do? You can set that up too. View and export data, or only view, because when you open this one here, you have the option to export it. You can print it and you can export the data to a CSV file, or you can download it as a CSV file from here. You have to export. So here you give the ability to the users to export this data, or if you disable it from here, they are not going to be able to export it. So I'm not going to change it. I'll keep it the same for now. So here in this tab, you have the ability to allow other people to update the survey the same way you are updating it right now. So let's say, for example, when I'm a designer and I'm the owner for the survey, right? I'm the one who created the survey. I'm the one who designed it. Maybe there's a team or other members, or I'm gonna delegate or give this job to someone else to continue doing the design. I need to make sure that I give them access and make sure that they have access to update this survey. So you can click on shared update group. You can read more about how can you create a shared group, and you can add the survey to this group, so everyone in this group can be able to edit it the way you edit it right now. So you have to differentiate between creating a survey and designing a survey, and giving the URL to the survey for people to collect the survey and actually use the survey and submit it, and for the people to see the results and see the analyzed data for the survey. You can share your survey by share survey here. You can share the results from here, or you can share the ability for other people to edit your survey from here. And here we have the group settings for managing the groups that will be able to update the survey. You can manage who will be able to update the survey from these two tabs right here. So now we finished the design, we finished the collaboration, we analyze, and the data. When we go to the data here, it's exactly going to show up how it shows up right here. And because you are the admin, if I disabled export, you're still going to see it here because you are the owner, so you can see everything. But if you are sharing it with someone and you disable the export, they are not going to be able to export it. I know there's so many things going on here and it might be confusing a little bit, but once you start to use it and to differentiate between what everything does, you will be able to understand it much faster, and it will be very easy for you to create things next time. Before I go to the settings tab, I want to show you in the overview tab. Remember that when we tried to open the overview in the previous videos, we couldn't because we didn't publish it yet. So now this is a published survey, and actually someone submitted a survey. And here you can see how many surveys been submitted, and what is the sharing option for this survey, who is the owner of this survey, when it was created, when it was last updated, and total participants, how many records, when the first submitted happened, when was the last submitted happened, and here it shows you the time and the date for the submission. So if you have a lot of people who submitted it, you can look here and keep track on how many people submitted it. So if you have a survey that opened for a week and you know most likely about 100 people gonna use it, you can keep coming back here and see how many people actually used the survey and submitted it. From here, actually a very quick overview, and it can show you what is the user name who submitted this survey. And if you are open it for the public, you're not going to be able to see any username here, but this is how you can view the overview for the survey. You can also delete the survey from here, or you can delete it from the home page. Again, before I go to the settings, again, I want to show you one more thing to change the thumbnail for the survey. And what you can do is you can click on My Surveys. So this is gonna take you to the home page for the surveys. And here you can edit this one by click on the design. You're gonna open in the design. Here you can change the sharing. You can view the analyze. You can view the data from here. But what I want you to know that you can tap on this three dots and say Edit Survey Info. And here you can change the name, the tags, and summary. So when you click on this thumbnail, it will open you the option to add any images, and you can add the images you want and make sure it fits in the size and the width for the thumbnail. So this is how you can change the thumbnail. You go to the home page for My Surveys and you tap on the three dots and you say Edit Info or Edit Survey Info, and this will allow you to edit the survey name, the survey tags, the summary, and the thumbnail by clicking on the thumbnail. It's a little bit tricky because nothing here tells you that you can change it unless you actually click on it, and it's really hard to get into this part because you need to publish the survey first in order to see it here, and then you can edit it here. Or if you created a new survey from scratch, you can come here and click on here and update the thumbnail when you create the survey for the first time. So this is the two ways you can change your thumbnail for the survey. So let's cancel and go back. And we don't have any other options here other than you can change the owner. So if you are leaving the company, if you are leaving the organization, you can change who owns this survey so they have full control over it, same as you. You can delete the survey. You can make a copy out of this survey and save as another one, name it however you want. You can open the settings from the survey from here, or you can just click on the survey. So it's going to open the regular view we know, and you can go to the settings here. And there's not a lot of options in the settings in the design here. The only option you have is use the version of the survey that was published. What that means is when we created the survey right now and we published it, it must match the version of the survey app. And the current version of the survey app is 3.12. If you want to maintain to use this version, then the users must keep the 3.12 version of the app in order to use your survey. If you want to make sure that you are updated with the latest version, you can always choose this, and this will upgrade or update your survey to match the new version, and it will ask the users to update their phone app in order to use the new updated survey. So this is the option up to you. If you know, for example, if your survey gonna be open for a year, it's good to allow use the latest version. If your survey gonna be open for a week, you don't need to allow this, and you just use the version that currently available for the survey. And here you force the user to require them to update their app in order to use the survey. So here you allow your survey to be updated or not, and here you force the user to update their phone app to the latest version if your survey been updated to the latest version. So I don't need to choose this. If I'm choosing this one, they can download the current version for the app, and that's it. So this is the options for the web app version. That's the difference between them. Here you have the settings. It's a little bit advanced settings for add a webhook. And webhook is actually like a trigger. Think of it like a trigger. When if someone like, let's say for example, they add a new record or they edit an existing record, I want to do an action, and this action will be something that's gonna be set up by this URL. So if I created a service or a URL and I set this URL here, and this service gonna receive the information from this Survey123 saying that there's a user submitted this survey or updated this survey, and here's the information that we're gonna come to this URL. And when this URL or this service received this information or got triggered, then I can do something else. This is a little bit advanced and needs some development, but this is how you can do and add a webhook. So here I'm gonna cancel this one, and that's all for the settings over here. We view the overview, the design, the collaborate, the analyze, the data, the settings. So when we go back to the design, we already saw all these controls, and we were able to use all these controls, and we know the difference between them right now. We know the edit, what it does when you select the control. You can edit it from here. Here you have the appearance, and this is gonna literally change the appearance of the survey on the browser or on the phone. So here I can change this background to some other pictures. Let's make it gray. As you see, it changed it to gray. If I save and publish and say publish, it will be published and it will be updated using this new color. So here we have the survey with the old color. Once it's published, you will see that after I refresh it, the design will change. Here, if I refresh it, I'll say reload. It'll change it to the color I just chose right now. So this is how you can change the color from here. You can edit the theme to use any different colors or images as a background. You can show or hide the survey header. As you see here, I can show or hide this one. Survey description, hide this one. Survey footer, the one all the way to the bottom, will be shown or hidden from here. This one powered by ArcGIS Survey123, and you can actually change that to anything. You can name it by your organization, or you can add a URL so when people click on it, it takes them somewhere. So this is just an appearance for how you want your footer and header to look like for the survey. And the last tab we have here is the options. And the only option here we have is a thank you page. So you can design a thank you page with images, with URLs, with any text, same as we did for the note. So you can design the note and the thank you page the same way. You have a lot of flexibility to design it however you want. So here you can create your thank you page, and after you create your thank you page, make sure that show message on prompt user to submit another record. This is another option that when the user submit the record, it will tell them thank you for submitting the record. Do you want to submit another one? That's what this for. If you want to show a preview for how the thank you page will look like, you can click here to see that this is the actual view for how it's going to look like for the user. So that's all the options for the appearance and the options here. Other than that, I think we covered everything here in all these tabs. We also covered my surveys here. So if I go here, I'm gonna say don't save that. I don't want this to change anything. As many surveys as you have, you're gonna see all of them here, and you can filter or organize them however you want, or order them from here. You can create a new one here, or you can work on an existing one here. So that's all what I need to show you in the web browser. So here you have, again, here you have the option to change and manage the survey. And if you go to collaborate, you can have the URL to open the survey in the browser, which is this one. And also if you go to the share results, so you have the URL to open the survey analysis and data to allow people to see the results for your survey. Here you have update survey, which allow you to create a group to allow other people to help design the survey. So this is all the options you have here, and you have, as an owner, you have all the ability to change anything and view everything. It's a little bit like so many things here, I know, but it's not that complicated once you understand what each tab for and what's the difference between analyze and data and what settings is for. Everything will look easy for you, so you can create your own surveys. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm gonna open the phone app again so we can see the settings in the phone app and how can we look in the other settings and options that we have in the Survey123 app. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.